The next step in our process is to write the stub unit tests. First, let's rename the unit test1.cs to file process test.cs and go ahead and have it rename it. So now you can see that we have our file process test class. You'll notice we have an attribute above the public class called test class, and we have a test method attribute above test method 1. These are special attributes that have to be there for your unit tests, and we'll talk more about these as we move through, but just know that they have to be there at this point. Let's add a using statement to go back to my classes because we are going to want to use that file process, so we're going to need a using statement here. Let's now create our first unit test. File name does exist. We're going to use assert.inconclusive. As I mentioned, this tells the unit test framework that you have not written this test yet. Let's go ahead and create another one. File name does not exist. And then we're going to create actually one to test for a bad file name. And I'm going to call this one file name null or empty underscore using try catch underscore should throw argument null exception. That is a long name. It's best to have long names that really describe what your unit test is doing. So you can kind of see what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to put a try catch in here to check to make sure that if I pass a empty or a null file name, that I should catch a thrown argument null exception. Now there's actually an additional way that we can do this as well that I'm going to show you. And this one is file name null or empty underscore using expected exception attribute. So we're actually going to add another type of attribute to test another way of checking for a null or empty file name. At this point, we can now come up to our test menu and we can run all tests. It will bring up the Test Explorer. It will build the entire project, and it will then eventually show us all of the unit tests and whether they passed, failed, or in this case, were all inconclusive. So the little triangle with the exclamation point in there means that they are inconclusive. If we were to click on each one of these and you look at the test detail summary down here, you can see assert.inconclusive.